Hi, today from Albania at the Adriatic Sea. Selling is one of the 6 billionaire skills, but there are 3 most common mistakes that people repeatedly do. What they are and how to avoid them, you will find out after a short break. See you. Hi again. Billionaire skills. In my book, The $1 Billion Secret, I brought 6 billionaire skills. I described 6 billionaire skills, and one of them is sales. Sales is extremely important in business. When you are good at sales, you will never hunger, you will never run out of money. And the most successful companies, they are extremely good at sales, and there is no company who got bankrupt despite of having great sales. So if you are good at sales, if you do it correctly, if you do it right, there is no way to destroy you as a company, as business. Okay, so let's start. 3 most important mistakes, 3 most important errors that people do in sales. Let's start with the first one, and this is the trying to sell to everybody, independently if the person needs that service or the product or not. And this is what most beginners in business and most small entrepreneurs do wrongly. They just focus on themselves, on their product, on their service, and they try to sell it to everybody that they encounter. And of course, that way they lose a lot of effort, a lot of money to try to convince people to buy something that they don't need. Let's take the beach as an example. I'm at the beach here in Durres, and of course, there are a lot of businesses along the promenade, a lot of coffee places, a lot of restaurants, cafes, and there are other businesses like equipment rental for water sport equipment. There are these sunbeds and umbrellas that they rent at the beach, and many other business models that work here. But imagine, and of course they are pretty successful with that, some of them more, some of them less, but imagine now at that beach somebody would be trying to sell, let's say, agricultural equipment representative would be trying to sell his agro equipment here at the beach. Of course, there may be like 1 in 100, maybe 1 in 1,000 people would be a farmer who would need that equipment, but altogether, most of the people, the very most of the people, just don't need that equipment. This is the wrong target group, right? You have to always realize what is your customer. I mean, what demographics? Is it a man? Is it a woman? What age group, or what are the hobbies, of course the business of your customer, whatever, right? Who is the buyer? And then you should first of all be selling only to these customers, so eliminate the customers that aren't prospects, right? That aren't potential customers, that where the probability of selling to that person is very low. This is the first thing, but also you should shape your message that resonates with your target customer. So this is the first thing. Sell your service and your product to the customer that needs your service, who needs your service and your product. This way you will avoid this problem. If you don't do that, you will lose a lot of money in marketing, in sales, a lot of effort with no tangible results, with mediocre results. Second mistake that people do is if they find the right customer, the potential customer, the promising prospect, they don't pay attention to place and time. So they try to sell him immediately or anytime, any place. But the thing is to sell to the people at the right time and right place, meaning where the need for that service and for that product arises, at the spot and at the time when the service or the need arises. So let's come back to the example of the beach here. You have the sunbeds, you have the umbrellas, and they have the highest price. Of course, in the morning before the noon or maybe in the early afternoon, because this is where people come to the beach and need protection. They need a place to rest on, and then they need protection from the sun. So they need sunbeds and umbrellas. In the afternoon, they are getting cheaper because the sun isn't that strong anymore, so maybe people don't need that much. And of course, at night you can't sell at all you can't rent to anybody any sunbed or umbrella, because people just don't need an umbrella at night, right? And there are not much people on the beach at night. The same would be, let's come back to the other dimension, the space. Now imagine the three businesses of sporting equipment for water sports. One business is located on the beach directly. The other business is located 500 meters, let's say half a mile from the beach in the same town. And the third business is located renting water equipment. It's located, let's say, 100 miles away from the sea. What do you think? What businesses will be successful? Which of these businesses will be most successful, will have the highest sales? Of course, the one located at the beach, because this is the place where people need that service and that product. 500 meters from the beach, maybe some will think, okay, I'm going to the beach, or tomorrow I will go to the beach. Maybe I will need that. Let's get some equipment. They will have some sales, but much less sales. And the business that is located 100 kilometers away from the sea, they won't have, from any beach, they won't have that much sales, right? So, the right place, the right time. Also another example. If you go to, let's say, tourist places like Paris, like Rome, and it starts raining, suddenly many merchants with umbrellas are popping up at every corner and selling you umbrellas. Now answer yourself the question, would you buy an umbrella from a stranger, not from a shop, just from a stranger you meet at the street at any other time than when it is raining? Nobody would do that. You wouldn't buy an umbrella from a stranger on the street. You would probably think it's stolen or something. The probability of you buying such an umbrella would be close to zero. But when it is raining, it's completely normal to buy an umbrella from, from this, let's say, walking merchant. And they sell a lot of these umbrellas. They suddenly pop up and they know exactly this is the right time, this is the perfect time to sell an umbrella. And maybe they can even demand, depending on how many umbrellas they have, what's the demand, they can ask maybe pretty high prices for this umbrella. And there is this saying, that the value of the things, of the product, is very relative. It's relative to the situation, to the buyer, to the seller, or also to the demand and supply, right? You are maybe in some cases, in some situations, you are not willing to pay anything for water because you just have high quality water maybe in your tap. But in other situations, you may be willing to pay, let's say, $10 for a glass of water, maybe $100 for a glass of water. If you are in the middle of the desert and you are thirsty and you are close to dying, you will be probably able or willing to pay $100 for a bottle of water, for a glass of water, if somebody appeared and offered it to you to solve your problem, your challenge at that time. But I tell you a story of a man who did everything wrong. And I think most of the beginners in business are very similar to this guy. Once I was in Senegal and I was walking in the middle of the desert in a dune actually, and then I see this guy coming out of nowhere, a local, and he is trying, and you will never guess what he was trying to sell me. This guy was trying to sell me a horn of a cow, a bullhorn or something. I don't know if I would ever need a bullhorn and what it is good for, but he was trying to sell it to me. I was definitely the wrong customer. It was definitely the wrong time and the wrong place. If he had some refreshment, I would have accepted it. Maybe would have bought it. Maybe at a higher price than in a local shop or something. But a bullhorn, I mean, what was it good for? It wasn't even two horns. It was just one horn. And I think most of the beginners in business, they are like this guy. They are trying to sell anything to anybody just because they have that product or that service, just because they happen to have that product or the service, and then they blindly try to sell it to everybody. What would be, I think it's just, what was the chance of meeting anybody in that desert, in the middle of the desert? Very low. And then what was the chance of that somebody needing a horn, a cow horn? Zero. And this guy was nevertheless trying to sell it. I don't know if this was his business model, general business model, or he just happened to have this horn with him. I don't know why would he carry a cow horn with him and trying to sell it to me. So don't be like this guy. Identify your customer, identify the right time, the right place to sell, and then sell it at that prices. This applies also to online businesses, right? You have to sell at the right place at the right time also online. There are some communities, there are some places online where your customers, where there's high probability for your target group to be present and to see your message, to see your product, to see your service. And then you add the next layer, the right time for them to buy. For example, if they are searching for this product, right? You sell, let's say, you sell water sports equipment, and they are looking for the term buying water sports equipment or buying a paddle pad or something. Then it is the right time apparently to sell it to that customer. Okay, third mistake is sometimes the customer isn't aware of his needs. Sometimes your product and your service applies to this customer. It really solves a problem or a need that customer has, but this customer just doesn't realize he has this need or he has this problem maybe. And you try to sell it to this customer, and this customer needs that. But he just doesn't know he needs that, and that's why he isn't buying, right? So you are just hitting with the head against the wall and it's not working. How to resolve that problem? You need to demonstrate that he needs that product, that service. You need to somehow educate the customer. Let's say, coming back to the beach example, let's say you are lying on the beach and you're feeling hot. It's hot, and you see walking merchant on the beach. Yeah, it doesn't resonate to you. I mean, you see a box, he has something in the box. It doesn't help you at all to resolve your problem. You're just not realizing he may have the solution for your problem. But the solution would be to cool down, to cool yourself with, let's say, ice cream, right? And then you see other people buying the ice cream from the guy, and you see how they cool down their bodies and how they feeling happy, better, and whatever. And this demonstrates to you, this somehow makes you aware of your need to cool down and to have an ice cream. And that's how you buy the ice cream from the guy. So there are many methods how to make your customers realize their needs or realize that your product, your service is a solution to the need that this customer has, or a problem that this customer has. And but this is a topic for another video. But just for you to know, sometimes you may not be able to sell something to somebody because this person just doesn't know enough about your product, right? Just doesn't realize you have a solution for his problem. You just satisfy his need. So coming back to my example from Senegal, maybe this horn was a solution to a problem I had, to a need I had, but I wasn't aware of that solution. Maybe, the locals, they knew exactly what this horn was used for and why is it so useful maybe in the middle of the desert. And I was just too stupid to realize this. But this guy didn't make me aware of that fact. And that's why he couldn't make a deal with me. So pay attention to that. These were the 3 most common mistakes with sales. If you like this video, give me a thumb up. If not, of course, thumb down, subscribe if you haven't. I talk here a lot about business, about doing great impossible things in your life and in your company. I talk here about how the best entrepreneurs, how the self-made billionaires in our times think and act. So if you like this video, you will certainly like my other videos. I invite you to watch them. That's it for today. From Albania, I wish you a fantastic day. Let's do something extraordinary today.